Part 2 of this 4-part video series on the Bain Kloof Pass covers the second half of the northern ascent from Tweede Atoll to Eerste Atoll. If you intend driving this pass, we recommend watching all 4 videos in the correct sequence to gain all the important information pertaining to orientation, safety, as well as points of interest. The 3-day Limitberg hiking trail descends down this kloof and terminates at the campsite next to the river called Tweede Atoll. This translates into second toll and was the exact spot of the second toll point on the original road, with Eerste Atoll or first toll being at the summit village. Today, Tweede Atoll is a lovely oasis offering camping and some of the best rock pools in South Africa. The real climbing begins after Tweede Atoll as the gorge narrows even more. The corners along the next 7.5 kilometers are very tight and dangerous. There are a total of 101 bends, curves and sharp corners along the section, which rises 286 vertical meters, producing an average climb gradient of 1 in 26, which is quite comfortable even for cyclists. The drop-offs to the left are near vertical, and the only protection is a row of large spaced rocks, as can be seen in this video. The next landmark is the Pilkington Bridge, which straddles a very powerful side stream. This has been dammed and a clever overflow culvert designed to prevent damage to the roadway. The bridge is tucked into a very tight left-hand corner. There are several spots to pull off and enjoy the stunning scenery, but most of them can only cope with 1 or 2 vehicles. Some of the beautiful rock formations have unfortunately been defaced by graffiti. Although graffiti is meant to be an art form, painting your name on a rock does not constitute art. It's nothing more than a self-indulgent, immature act of vandalism. Defacing of a national monument is a criminal offence, and if you're caught, the penalties are quite severe. Next, the road crosses under a precariously balanced overhanging rock known as Dacre's Pulpit. There is a height restriction here which keeps heavy trucks and buses off the pass. At both ends of the pass, overhead booms with chains will indicate whether your vehicle will make it under the rock or not. The height restriction is 3,68 meters. Andrew Bain lived from 1797 to 1864 and was born in Thurso, Scotland. He was a pioneer engineer and geologist and earned the tag of Father of South African Geology. He arrived in the Cape in 1816, aged 19, originally as a saddler in Graaff-Reinet, and later set about finding employment in the construction of roads. He also built a bridge over the Fish River during that period. He then tackled the Gaido Pass near Ceres in 1848, which he did as a side job whilst constructing the considered masterpiece at that time, the Mitchell's Pass just south of Ceres. The most famous pass built by Andrew Bain was of course his opus magnum, which still stands today and named after him, the Bain Kloof Pass, which is dated at 1853. He also built the road north out of Graaff-Reinet, which included the Lootsburg Pass and a series of smaller passes. His final pass was the Katberg Pass, dated 1854, which he was unable to complete, and it was completed by Adam de Smet. Bell Rocks can be seen near the upper section of the pass on your left-hand side, and to the right the Limitberg towers up to a height of 1,174 meters. Andrew Bain had 11 children, of which his famous son Thomas Charles John Bain was the second son and the 7th child. Alexander Bain and Jean Geddes, both of whom died when Andrew Bain was still a young boy. Bain was baptized on the 11th of June 1797. He was raised by an aunt who lived near Edinburgh. Here he received a classical education, but no vocational training. In 1816 he emigrated to Cape Town, accompanied by his uncle, Lieutenant Colonel William Geddes of the 83rd Regiment, who was stationed in the Cape. He married Maria Elizabeth von Buckstrom on the 16th of November 1818 and had 3 sons and 7 daughters. In 1822 he bought property in Graaff-Reinet and carried on for some years the business of a saddler. The road curves to the right to cross another small bridge, and if you look up to your left you'll see some unusual rock formations. These are known as the Montague Rocks. Around the corner on your left, another deep side gorge comes into view. This is Bobbejansrivier Kloof. There's a wonderful hiking trail, and a fairly tough one at that you can follow all the way to a series of waterfalls at the head of the ravine. Just to the left of the top of the ravine is a peak known as Observation Peak. The entire mountain from Tweed Atoll to the summit is the Slanghoek Mountain, and the tallest peak at the top of the Bobbejansrivier ravine is paradoxically called Kortberg, or Short Mountain, and reaches 1,497 meters. Near the upper reaches, the gradients ease off considerably, and the near vertical drop-offs give way to more gentle slopes smothered in fynbos and proteas. Dead ahead, the balancing dam for the village's water supply can be seen on the skyline. Driving the pass in winter is the best, when the fynbos shows off its colors and the rivers run wild. Within the next 500 meters, the road reaches its maximum altitude of 586 meters above sea level and levels off before dropping slightly into Bain's Kloof village. Do stop and explore the serenity and peace of this mountaintop village. Mountain fires are a big issue here, and many homes have been razed to the ground over the years.